Among the 108 names, which is composed by Swami Tejomayananda, we are now at 11th name. Bhava-dveshinyai Namah. We'll cover that, and the 12th, that is Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai. The intent of this whole exercise is to remember Gurudev, whose 108th Jayanti we are observing. And Gurudev's most dear is Bhagavad-Gita. In fact, when he started, he was not speaking on Gita at all. He was speaking only on Upanishads. But he found that it is so hard for people to comprehend. He would call them as uninitiated listeners, because people were not used to Vedanta. Upanishad is Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramanam. जो उपनिषद में है वही वेदांत है. वेदानाम अंतः वेदांत. It's not last part of Vedas, but the acme of Vedas, the ultimate wisdom of the Vedas. So when he started to speak on the highest reality, only very few people and Pandits and some people who have background of studying of Vedas or Vedanta could comprehend that. Others were clueless. Noticing this, he said, let me come down to the level of people. And that's when he chose Bhagavad-Gita. His commentary, Bhagavad-Gita commentary, he wrote, you know where it is? He wrote in Tapovan Kutir, Uttarkashi. Even that room is still there where he used to sit down facing the Ganga and he will write. Vivek Chudamani also was, no doubt somebody had written down or transcribed his talks, but then he sat down to edit there. One more thing I was told that he did was Dakshinamurti Stotram commentary he wrote there in Tapovan Kutir. Reason why he did in Tapovan Kutir is, when Gurudev was taught by Swami Tapovanam, he spoke to him or gave him knowledge of Upanishad but not Gita. He says health was failing, Swami Tapovanam's. And when Gurudev asked, you didn't teach me Bhagavad-Gita, he said, you will learn yourself. Once you know Upanishad, you know it. So Bhagavad-Gita, he self-learned by Gurudev. And anything you self-learn, you would like to have greater affinity towards that. It's always like when we learn ourselves, then we have a greater connection with that. So Bhagavad-Gita was so dear to him, and Guruji, our Swami Tejomayanandaji, thought that 108 names of Gita also would make us remember the content. She is mother, Bhagavad-Gita is the mother. Therefore, we say, Ambatvam Anusandadami Bhagavad-Gita Bhava-dveshinyai. So, yesterday I spoke on Amba. Who's Amba? And it's also, she is Amrita, Advaita Amrita Varshini. She is the one who is showering the nectar of Advaita. Now, today we'll see Bhava-dveshinyai. Bhava, the word Bhava means samsara. We are all samsaris only. We are all somebody who are very sorry. So, samsar. What does samsar means? In Hindi mein sansar hota hai. Sansar, S-A-N. It is samsar. Samsar is there. Samsara is there. Not fully sara, samsara. But samsara means samsarati iti samsara. Sri sarati means moving. Sri sarati. So, Visarjanam, the word Visarjanam is to give up. So, Samsriti, Samsaraha means Samyak Sarati, continuously moving from birth to death. This is called Bhava. Because in English it is say to become. Bhava means to become. Is it not true that always we want to become someone? Somebody? Something? Don't you tell your children, become someone in this life? What does it mean? Meaning, prove your individuality. Do something. But Vedanta says, whether we want it or not, something is going on. Change is a continuous reality. Gurudev used to say, change is a changeless truth. Change is a changeless truth. And Upanishad also points out there are 6 modifications in our body. First one is called Asti, existence. Jayate, subject to birth. Vardhate, subject to growth. Viparinamate, subject to change. Apakshiyate, to diminish. Vinashyati. So find out in which state you are right now. Okay, I don't want to tell.
Diminish.
Apakshiyate is the state of slowing down. Right? So when your child is small, it grows. So jayate vardhate. Vardhanam is also ek parinam hai. The change. But that change is, you're excited to look at the change. The child is growing from a very young child and then slowly grows to become a grown-up person. So when a grown-up person, meaning growth is over, but then parinama takes place, meaning change of attitude, change of outlook, priorities, parinam, viparinamate. Then starts the decline. So when the child is at the growing stage, the maximum learning takes place. And that is the reason why we say to bring the children to Balvihar and other places, so that when the child is in the mode of learning, at that time maximum should be given to them. Because they are in this education, they are school going, and then they are listening to the teacher quietly without arguing. So when they come to Balvihar also, they quietly listen. Once they grow to some point, who are you to say, I know better than you? Then they stop learning. Beyond 2025, everybody stops learning. When you stop learning, you stop growing. So, asti, jayate, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, vinishyati, the shadvikaraha. The shadvikaraha. 6 modifications. No doubt that all of us have seen ourselves like that when we were young. So, and then when we became a teenager, then became an adult. Now, whatever condition we are, and we look around, when we look around people who are 10 years older than us, I think 10 years from now, it will be like that. So let me get ready. Now, interesting thing is, in those 6 modifications, as I told you, Jayate means is born. Before the condition of being born, what is it? Asti. Asti means is. Now, our original condition is existence. Birth is a second condition, second step. But we only look at ourselves as Janitaha, Aham. I am born. We start looking at ourselves from the second point only. Upanishad points out, or Vedanta points out, no. Go to the previous condition. What is that? Asti. Asti means existence. Essentially, we are all pure existence. This is the Vedanta philosophy. Existence is an unchanging condition of all of us. And this particular nature of ours, being I am, nobody needs to tell you. Shastra also need not tell you. No teacher has to tell you. Somebody has to tell you are existing. Do you exist? Wait, let me think. You don't need to think about it. I am. So this existence, I am, is our primordial, primary existence, primary being. And that does not change. Anything, the second condition onwards, which are superficial, alone subject to change. Because when you are a child also, you had the understanding I am. But by I am plus a boy or girl, son or so-and-so, idiot or smart, whatever. So you add that point. Before that, I am is there. Then again, when you become a teenager, I am a teenager. The I ams remain the same thing. I am an adult. Then coming to other conditions like I am happy, I am unhappy, I am good, I am bad. So this I am, I the pure existence, astitva never changes. What changes is the bhava, samsara, the condition that one leads to another. That is subject to change. Therefore, what Bhagavad-Gita is saying, Bhava-dveshinyai Namah. Bhava ka dvesh karta hai. Dvesh means one meaning is hatred, another meaning is enemy. So if you think that you are subject to change, that you should not accept. Uska, you don't accept that. Do not accept you are subject to change. That's why you tell others, you cannot change me. Whatever you do, I won't change. But if we are at the colloquial, relative level, we are talking. But actually, what you have to say, I am changeless. Bhavaka dvesh. Dvesh means be opposed to the change. Meaning, don't fight with it, but say, understand, wo main nahi hu. So what is the definition that we read in Bhagavad-Gita? I mean, in the Vedanta first. Brahma Satyam, or it's a Atma Nityam, Tat Vyadiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Atma Nityam, Tat Vyadiriktam. Other than that, Sarvam Anityam. So, what is subject to change from condition A to B to C to E, D, etc.? When it becomes B, it is no more A. When it becomes C, no more B. When it becomes D, it's no more C. That means what? One condition is over, the second condition has come. So, that which is subject to change constantly, its reality is questionable. See, understand the step-by-step understanding of this. Reality of that which is subject to change is questionable. The platform on which the changes take place, that is real. Nasato vidyate bhavaha na abhavo vidyate sataha. Krishna starts with this. Nasato vidyate bhava, meaning bhava. Now I told you about bhava, right? Bhava means change. Bhava means exist, reality. Asataha na bhavaha. Unreal doesn't exist. Asataha na bhava. Sataha na abhava. Nasato vidyate bhavaha na abhavo vidyate sataha. You see, he puts this idea right at second chapter itself. Unreal doesn't exist. Real never ceases to exist. Meaning what? Your astitva never ceases to exist. Whatever you consider yourself other than that, actually is not there. It's unreal. This is the main point of Bhagavad-Gita in the first beginning itself. Second chapter itself, it starts this. Because Arjuna had a question about what is my dharma. He's not asking for Brahma-jnana. He doesn't say, Bhagavan, give me Brahma Vidya. No. He said, I'm confused. I have confusion about my dharma. What is the right thing to do? But Bhagavan starts with what? He doesn't start with dharma. You don't know yourself. We'll start with that point. Let's think about dharma much later. You don't know yourself who you are. Let me begin with that. Then you had asked the question about dharma. I'll tell you about what is your dharma from the absolute standpoint of who you are and from the relative standpoint of who you are. From the absolute standpoint of view, as asti, aham asmi, I am always there. From that standpoint, you have no dharma. Nothing to do. That way, last what he says, sarva dharman parityajya. After giving 700 verses, what is the question originally asked by Arjuna? What is my dharma? Actually, no dharma. सबको छोड़ दो. अरे इस कहने के लिए वो 700 verses चाहिए. Why you are saying 700 verses before telling me this? Why didn't you tell before itself? You won't understand. I have to tell you why, from the absolute standpoint, there is no dharma. But are you in that absolute standpoint? No. See, if I tell you, if you are healthy, you don't need a medicine. Correct or not? You go to a doctor when you are unhealthy. So you go to a doctor, ask for medicine. So, but if you are healthy, you don't go anywhere near him. So if you have come to me, that means you are sick. Otherwise, you won't come. Once you are sick, I have to tell you how to become healthy. When you become healthy, you don't need a medicine. So the very fact that you have come to me shows that you are need for some medicine. But I'll tell you, where should I take you to? What point I should take you to? I should take you to a point where you don't need a medicine. Right? See, I was in Ayurvedic treatment. Then, last summer, they said that after treatment, etc., say 3 months medicine I give you. So, July, August, September, take the medicine. I said, okay. The doctor was very good. Then I said, after the 3-month medicine, I'm anyway coming in October to India, so I'll take the rest of the batch. No. By the 3 months, you don't need that medicine. You should come to a condition where you don't need it anymore. That's what I would like you to achieve. But not allopathic, Aja, you need me, because without that we have no business. We give a medicine such that you, after 3 months, you need more of it, because the previous medicine has become incapable of doing anything to you, because this medicine has become important. That is important for me. So ultimately, you should reach a point where you don't need medicine. Correct? That is health. In the same way, you are asking me about dharma. I will talk to you about dharma from the relative standpoint. But from the absolute standpoint, you don't even bother about dharma. But I have to take you up to that point. That is by the explanation. So, na asataha vidyate bhavaha. The unreal never exists. Sataha abhavaha na vidyate. Of the truth, of the real, there is no absence ever. Who are you? Are you absence or a presence? Nobody can say, Swamiji, I am absent. Those who are absent, raise your hand here. Absent-minded you can be, not absent. So that means what? Aham asmi sada bhami kata chinnaham apriyaha. Advaita Makaranda begins with that point. Aham asmi sada bhami. I am always, and I always know I am. Kata chinnaham apriyaha. Therefore, I am never unhappy about myself. We all love ourselves, no doubt about that. Katachit na aham apriyaha bhavami. Never I am hateful of myself. I may be hating everybody else, but not myself. Because aham asmi. So what I am not? Bhavaha na aham asmi eva aham. So Bhava-dveshini, she the one who points out that the bhava, the change, is not you. So your spiritual practice should be to recognize that all change that takes place, even though they are taking place, that doesn't belong to you. This is the Amrita Jnana. This is the knowledge that can make one face all challenges of life, even physical challenges, one's own death also. The greatest challenge that one will have is to face one's own non-existence as this physical body, right? So all when you start aging to a point, the greatest fear that comes to us or the greatest anxiety comes to us is what? Phir kya? What is beyond that? Because that creates a lot of mental anguish, anxiety, restlessness, sometimes depression, rejection from others. Because once you are old, then nobody wants me, nobody wants me. Why you are to wait for somebody to want you? Yesterday I was in satsang and there was a note, so quote was there and somebody, I asked that lady, do you know what it is saying? Never depend upon your dependence. Think. Never depend on your dependence. Then only you are free. Your dependence, if you are depending on that. Because I have this many people want me, I love that. That so many people want me. Nobody is there. What will be your condition? Nobody wants me. So this knowledge is that gives us that such a strength. I'm independently happy. I'm independently free. Somebody is there, somebody is not there, okay. But my happiness should not depend upon that. And one more thing is, again, forget about others. My own physical body and other changes, when I'm not able to accept, change when not accepted becomes a problem. First and foremost thing is, change is an unending, continuous happening. If you don't accept that, you are fighting against an enemy which never going to go away. Because it will continuously happen. Weather will change, politics will change, share market will change, your people around you, their attitude will change, their relationship will change, your health will change. Everything will change. When we don't accept this change, the problem and over a period of time, the problem becomes a cause of depression, dejection, unhappiness. So, right. So we have seen what is Bhava-dveshinyai Namah. Now comes the next one, Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai Namah. So Bhagavad-Gita is Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai. She the one who has 18 chapters. As you all know, it is part of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is considered to be the longest literature ever written in this world. It has more than 100,000 verses. Think 100,000, 1 lakh couplets is written. And when? Long ago, where people in the West don't even know how to say ABCD. And the language that in which it is written was so fine-tuned. And they have talked about not only what has happened in Satya Yuga, not only what happened in Treta Yuga, also not only what happened during the time when it was written, Dwapara Yuga. There are enough information about what will be the condition of people and their thinking in Kali Yuga also. And when we see that, when we read that, my God, they are right. It is already happening. Predictions were so clear there. So, Mahabharata has got 18 parvas. And the main intent of Vyasa to explain that, not only about the thing that was happening there, but most importantly, what is advice of Bhagavan, how to live in this world, which he puts in the form of a conversation between himself, Krishna, and Arjuna. That happens right in the middle of the war. Therefore, it is called Mahabharata Madhyastitaye Namaha. And Bhagavad-Gita has also got 18 chapters. The war was fought for 18 days. War was fought for 18 days. So, Parva, 18 Parvas. 18 days of war. And the total number of Akshauhinis that were fighting in the war was 18. 11 on the side of Kauravas and 7 on the side of Pandavas. 18. So this 18 is a very important number. There is a formula in our Sanskrit literature. The masters who wrote the Sanskrit literature, they had kept certain secret information within the verse itself. And those who apply the formula only know what it means. One of the formula is called Ka-ta-pa-ya-di formula. That means every letter has got a number. Ka-cha-ta-ta-pa, and then ka-ka-ka-ga, all that. According to that Katapayadi formula, you have to reverse it. You should start from there. Like, Urdu and all, you start from there. Last to the first, right? Similar to that. Then you will understand what it is. So, original name that was there for Mahabharata by many scholars have said it is called Jaya. Jaya means victory. Yato dharmaha tata jaya. This is the main point of Mahabharata. Where there is dharma, there is victory. That was the statement which Vyasa wanted to convey. Where there is dharma, there is definitely a victory. And therefore, Bhagavad-Gita, as far as Mahabharata is concerned, it's all about how dharma wins. Dharmaha jayati. That's the main point. So therefore, the original name, it is said, or one of the names maybe of Mahabharata is Jaya. And Jaya, if you look at it, Yaja, it is Ja-ya. So, Ya is 1 and Ja is 8. So, in that formula, it is 18 again. So, that is the reason why Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai Namah. Sorry, what do you call that? Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai Namah. Now, briefly about these 18 chapters, that's what we need to see. Any story begins with an issue, right? Any story you read or watch a movie, if everything is fine, there is no story. There should be an issue, there should be a problem, and solving the problem is the story, right? So here, what is the problem for which we are to understand Bhagavad-Gita? Arjuna Vishada. The first one is Vishada. Every chapter is a yoga. Yujyade iti yoga. Definition is that which unites you, that which connects you to God, that which makes you integrated within yourself. That is yoga. So therefore, here we see, first one is Vishada itself is a yoga. If Vishada was not there, Arjuna would not have asked that question. If he had said, okay, I'm going to fight, I'm ready to fight, whoever it be, then Krishna would not have opened the mouth. But the problem was the dejection of Arjuna. I am not ready to fight the war. Therefore, it is said, we in our life, when everything is going on according to what we want, we will never learn, or we will not even turn towards God. When things do not happen the way we want, then only we wonder, why? Isn't it? If everything goes well, as I said, if your body is healthy, why do you need to go to the doctor then? So when we realize that things are not happening the way we want, we need some guidance. Then only we look for someone who can guide us. So Arjuna expresses this state of mind of every sadhaka, that he should seek the highest. Only when you seek the highest, we see the obstacles. Obstacles Gurudev always said, obstacles come only to those persons who get up and walk. One who is sitting down will have no problem. So once, Gurudev was visiting one center in India, and he talked to the Brahmacharya Swamiji there. So how is everything going on in your center? No problem, Swamiji. Then you are not doing anything. If you're doing something only, you'll have problem. So Arjuna was not happy in that condition. So that is where the problem starts. Vishada. Vishada. Vishada means dejection. Let's start. Now, when he, as I said, he asked about what is my dharma, what is that thing that I need to do, Bhagavan starts from the highest point, Sankhya. He said, you must understand who you are first, before I solve your problem. Because as Guruji often would say, some people have problems, some people are problems. So, if somebody says, wherever I go, I find problems. Who is the default person there? If you say, wherever I go, I have a problem, who is carrying the problem? Then you only. Wherever I go, people are upset, Swamiji. Who is the cause? So he says, you think that you have a problem. I'll tell you. Unfortunately, I have to tell you the truth. You are the problem. So let us solve that first. Your thinking is a problem. The way you think is the issue. So he says how to think correctly, the highest standpoint. Know that you are eternal, as I was telling that. You know you are astitva. From that standpoint, dharma doesn't have any relevance here. But to reach that point of total understanding of your pure existence, there is a great obstacle that is there coming on your way, is the mind. Okay? And the one who has overcome this obstacle called the mind is Sthita Prajna. One who has overcome this obstacle called the mind, he is a person who is steady, steadily aware of his pure existence. One who is not able to remain in that condition, the only issue that is there, not the world, it is your own mental state of mind, or otherwise the quality of thoughts. Now, to overcome the obstacle called the mind or purify the mind, what you need to do, that is in the 3rd chapter. That is to say, you have to overcome your problem of the mind, not anywhere else, not going by in solitude, not in running away from the challenges of life, facing the worldly challenges with the mind not attached to the results. That is when the Karma Yoga comes. Do your action in such a way that your mind is at rest in the action and not too anxious about the result. That is the 3rd chapter of Karma Yoga. So, and then continuing that, immediately he brings the 4th chapter of Jnanam. You will find Bhagavan Krishna constantly shifting between these two. Relative reality, absolute. Relative, absolute. Relative, absolute. Relative, absolute. Why he does that? Because one should not get lost in the relativity. One must keep in mind that my aim is to reach that absolute. But at the same time, I have to work with what is relative. If I ask you, are you a husband or a man? What is your answer? Both. जिसका हंसना बंद हो गया वही husband हो गया. But you are a man. You are a man first, and then only you become husband. So, are you a husband or a man? What do you say? I'm both. Choose one. Yes, I'm man, not husband. And if I ask you, are you a living being or a human? You say living human being. Not I'm a dead human being. So living and human being, they are not opposed to each other. Can you see that? Being a human and a husband is not opposed to each other. Is it? I am human. I am husband also. They are not conflicting. It should not. Similarly, I am a living being. So this plant is also a living being. Right? This is also a living being. I hope it is not a plastic one. Is it a plastic? Living? No. No. I have no problem with that. Because that is also living. I am also living. So a living human being means being a human and being a living person, there is no conflict. But when I focus more on one thing and forget the other, Bhagavan says, no, remember both. You are a Kshatriya, at the same time, you are a sadhak. This you must remember. You are a businessman or you are a person who is working here, there, whatever you are doing. But you are a sadhaka. Sadhaka means one seeks the highest. So he has to shift this constantly. Remember. And therefore, in the 4th chapter, what he says, even while working, you understand you are not working. Karmani akarmaya pashyet, akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manusyeshu. Who is working? You as the individual is working. Who is not working? You as the witness. You as the Asti Purusha. I am Asmi. That is not working. That is only watching it. Well, the working person is a relative entity. Non-working is the absolute entity. That is Jnanam. That is knowledge. So, having explained how to work in this world, without attachment you work, immediately you will shift. Who is working? Not you. Your relative personality is working. So that is explained in the 4th chapter. And in the 5th chapter, he says, by recognizing your nature as non-actor, akarta, now decide what action you should do. You can start choosing your action. Earlier, you were driven to actions because of your desires. Now, when you realize you are really a non-doer, a witness, therefore, take up only those actions which come closer to that point. Meaning what? Kamya karma parityagam kuru. Give up those actions which take you far away from your awareness of this. Therefore, karma sannyasa yoga. 5th chapter is karma sannyasa yoga. The 4th chapter. So, karma sannyasa is the 5th chapter. Then comes the what will I do if I have, see, what regular person is what? He's continuously busy with actions. Most of them driven by desires. And now slowly he is told that reduce your number of actions by doing only those actions which are making you fully aware of your nature of actionlessness. So when do I even stop that action which are making me stay away from actionlessness? When you start going towards your actionless state, that is called dhyanam, meditation. So 6th chapter is about dhyanam. Why? He says that shamaha is, or the quietude of the mind where there is no desire to act, is a prerequisite for meditation. So from karma, you need to reach to the shamatvam, the state of quietude. Aru rukshor munir yogam karma karanam uchyate yogarudasya tasyeva shama karanam uchyate. If you are intending to quieten down, do actions which are bringing you closer. But once you reach that point, stop. The stage where you can stop your mind without having even a single thought arising about action, that is called the state of dhyana. That's why he says, Shane Shane Uparamed Buddhya Dhritigrigetaya Atma Samstam Manakritva Na Kinchitapi Chintayet. Stay without even a thought arising in your mind. So that is explained in this chapter number 6. Many people say, Swamiji, I sit for meditation. Yes, no thought of any action comes, all right, quiet. But what do we do with it? In meditation, what should I do? अरे कुछ नहीं करना है. कुछ नहीं करने के लिए क्या करना है? To do not anything, what to do? What to do means what? So Guruji wrote, Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajam banamuchyade na karma vishesham va na saguna japa. Meaning what? Swarupa bhava. That is called dhyanam. Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajam banam. Naturally being with you. Not japa, not upasana, not any karma. It's very hard. Because very often when we take up to such meditation, next moment we hear ourselves snoring. So Bhagavan says, iske liye jnanam avashyakam. You should know where to focus. So 7th chapter is about Vijnana Yoga. How to practice knowledge in such a way. Not only when you are sitting in meditation. Even when you are dealing with the world, keep your mind aware. So Vijnana means that how to practice knowledge. How to bring in your mind again and again to the point of oneness. That is Vijnana Yoga. Okay, I have, let us say, been doing this kind of attention on the self as it is taught by Bhagavan Krishna, etc. But our question is, iske baad kya hai? What will happen to me beyond this physical existence? So in the 8th chapter is about death and beyond. See how systematically he progresses in his thought. Many people say, Swamiji, we don't understand Gita. One chapter says one thing, another chapter. I don't see the relevance at all. Only when you connect the link, you will understand how one moves to another. So now he talks about in 8th chapter what happens when an individual moves away from this body. His journey hereafter depends upon what he has been thinking. Somebody would say, Bhagavan says, the last minute of your life, if you are able to think about me, antakale pichamam. If he is able to think about the last minute also, he will reach me. Good. Only the last minute I have to think about you. Not otherwise. But the problem is, you don't know which is the last minute. Number one. Second is, you cannot think about Bhagavan at the last minute because you never thought about him. How do you think you can think about something which you never thought before at that point? Third thing is, at that point, you have no choice. See, even if you want to have, everybody says, have a nice dream, sweet dreams. Is it decided by you or somebody else? Can anybody decide what dreams should come? As much as in the state of dream, we have no choice but to go through whatever happens. In the same way, at the time of death, we have no choice. Whatever happens will happen. At that point, you cannot decide to think about God because you have no choice. So only way you can make sure that at that point of leaving the body, you may think about God is to make sure that tasma sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmarayudhyacha. All the time when you have this as a background of your thinking, then obviously that will happen. So 8th chapter is about that part. Preparing for the death. Then again 9th chapter, right in the middle, he says, I will have to tell you a secret. Rajavidya, Rajabukyam, Pavitram, Idamuttamam, Pratyaksha Avagamam Dharmyam, Susukam, Kartum Avyayam. I'll give you a royal secret of how to think about me. This is where we see, basically, Bhagavad-Gita is divided into 3 parts. First 6 chapter is about you. Second set of 6 chapters about God. Third part is how they both are one and the same. So in the 9th chapter, he starts to talk about whom should you think and how you should think about God. That's a royal secret. Understand, you don't need to close your eyes to think about me because everything is me. Matta paradaramna anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Other than me, there is nothing else. So you are closing your eyes and thinking about is good. But even when you are open the eyes, you don't need to worry, I'm not there. Everything is me only there. Other than me, there cannot be anything else. Because if I am the creator of the universe, I cannot be other than the universe. With the mud, if from the mud part has come, can a mud and part stay far away from each other? Mud here, part here. If everything has come from me, then where am I? Kahan dhoond rahe ho, bando? Where are you looking for me? So that is a royal secret. I am there in every atom particle of this universe. This secret you should know how to know me. Then obviously in 10th chapter, Arjuna asked, even though you are everywhere, but when I'm sitting for meditation, how do I remember you? In what way? Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. How do I remember you? Bhagavan gives a straight answer. Think of me as yourself. Aham atma guda kesha sarvabhutashayastitah. Don't think about anything else. I am your own self. Start from there. If you can't do that, that's why he gives the name to Arjun, Gudakesha. The meaning Gudakesha means Gudaka Ishaha, one who has conquered sleep. As I said, when you sit for meditation, first thing happens is one coffee will be fine before meditation. Coffee, when you drink, mind goes all over the place because it has all got the rajas now. In Sattva Pradhana, when mind has become Sattvic, it's quiet but doesn't go to sleep. So Gudakesha. So if you are a Gudakesha, I'll tell you, then you can meditate about me as you, your own self. In 10th chapter, he explains his manifestations. Today, I was just telling you because this is chapter we are talking today in our class. So, I am the Himalayas among all the mountains. I am the Meru among the summits. I am the Samaveda among the Vedas. I am the Shankara among the Rudras. I am the sun among the luminaries. I am the moon among the stars. So, which are all prominently seen as so brilliant, so powerful. That is me. Meditate on this. When Arjun says, okay, but can I see you as the whole thing? As one who is, you say that you are everything. So that means there is nothing other than you. Can you show me that you are everything? He said, I will give you a special eye of wisdom by which you see my Vishwarupa, my cosmic vision, not cosmetic, cosmic form. Because we all have cosmetic form. Here, Bhagavan only has cosmic form. Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa means my universal form. Other than me, there is nothing. Means what? Everything. Birth and death. This is the problem with Oppenheimer situation. He says, see, from mud the pot has come. Where does the pot go back to? Gold. From mud the pot has come, it has to go to. So, aham mrityuhu. I am death also, because I cannot be otherwise. If everything has come from me, everything will have to go back to me only. So, in the statement when he makes aham mrityuhu, so he says sarvaharascha, mrityu sarvaharascha. They have taken out of context and say, see, Bhagavan says, Krishna says he is death. Why didn't you understand the previous line? I am birth. I am the cause of everything. Obviously, into the cause alone, all effects will merge. Gurudev has said this, no? Every effect must have a cause, and every effect is nothing but cause in another form. From the effect, if you remove cause, nothing exists. So, when the effect goes back to the cause, that's called mrityu. So, Bhagavan says, aham mrityu. Not that I caused death, but in death, I alone am there. You understand? It is not I am death. What it means is, in death, I alone remain. Because nothing else will remain other than me. Out of context, when you quote, will look so different and misunderstand. So then he shows this Vishwarupa, universal form, and then obviously he was overwhelmed. Arjuna was overwhelmed. Bhagavan, should I think about you this way or any other way? He says this way of thinking is very difficult for you. So therefore, develop love for Bhagavan, whichever form it can be. Therefore, Bhakti. Who is my Bhakta and what is Bhakti? What is devotion and how one should relate with God? That is explained. But to connect yourself with God, you must recognize that there are two things which are there in you. One is called the matter, another is called the spirit. Kshetra and Kshetrajna. Kshetram is the matter, and Kshetrajna is the spirit. And one who knows the Kshetram is called Kshetrajna. One who knows the matter is the spirit, A matter will never know the spirit. And matter's existence is known only when there is spirit. And that is what I am. Sarvakshetreshu Bharata. So, then if you are that, why am I not able to constantly remember your presence? Why am I dragged again and again back to the matter? He says, because of the three gunas of Maya. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga, 14th chapter. How to understand Rajas and Tamas. When the absence of Rajas, Tamas, how Sattva is for you to remember me easily. So that part is taken in the 14th chapter. Then Bhagavan continues to say that in this world there should be only one goal for all of you, Purushartha, and that is Purushottama. Parsottam. Parsottam. So, that's the last name, Parsottam. First name? Purushottam. Purusheshu Uttama, the best among the men, and one who is the highest goal. That is 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga. Then he says, even though that divinity is in all of us, but there is a devilishness in our mind. So therefore, Daiva Asura Sampat Bhava Yoga. Distinguishing between your evil qualities and divine qualities. In essence, he would say, evil is nothing but absence of divinity, not another existence. It's like darkness is not an existence. Darkness is like absence of light. You cannot say darkness is there and then light is there parallelly together. No. If light has come, darkness goes. But when the light is there, you cannot bring darkness. Can you? So please bring some darkness here. The light should be there, but can you? Say yes or no.
Yes.
But when there is some darkness, can you bring light? So do you think which is correct, which is positive, which is not true? What is true and what is not true? What you can bring is true and what disappears is false. When the truth is there, false cannot get in. But the false is there, truth can get in there and destroy that. Just like darkness is there, you can bring light. When the light is there, darkness cannot. Therefore, Daiva and Asura Sampat, what it means is, once you start developing Daivi qualities, Asura Sampat has to go. And when you have a Daivi quality, Asura Sampat cannot re-enter there. That's why he explains that part. Also, what I told you is Shastra. But those who do not have the access to Shastra also can continue in this path. Again, he explains about Shraddha-traya Yoga. Vibhaga Yoga. Because Arjuna is wondering, if somebody does not read Shastra, can he still be able to, but he has faith in the words of the Guru or words of the elders, can he continue this? Yes. You don't need to have Shastra to teach you, but if someone, or if you are able to follow someone with pure Sattvic Shraddha, you still can reach the highest. And what is the highest? Moksha. And for the last chapter is about Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. So about how to reach the final liberation upon renouncing even the dharma. That's why he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. But then all this explanation is necessary to finally tell you that you are healthy. You don't need a medicine. The doctor has to explain what real health means. Thus, this is Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai Namah. So we saw two of the names among the 8 names. That is Bhava-dveshinyai Namah and Ashtaa-dasha-adhyaayinyai Namah. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi